talking to Gavin about it, said he cut a lot of slack to guys last year at starting that he learned from scratch, but they're supposed to know it now, so you're probably pushing them to a higher level.
Yeah, there's some expectations as far as like our guys coming back and being veterans. And so my expectations are for those guys to teach the younger guys, and for the older guys to teach those guys, keep them out of the drills at the very beginning. And they know, like, when we start a drill, you guys should be up front. You put the guys that are new in the back. By the time those guys in the back get to the front, they should observe and get a chance to like watch the drill and then move from there. So just moving from drill to drill, having some expectations, already having some knowledge about what we're doing, and I want it, like I said, a little chaotic. I want that. I want those guys to have to figure out some things on their own and teach and move on the go.
Are you satisfied so far with how they've done these first few days?
Oh, I tell you what, they've been terrific with their effort. This is the first time that we did some things 5-on-5 up and down the court and got a little discombobulated, but I knew that would happen. It's always when you're doing things 5-on-0, things get sped up. It seems really good. This looks smooth, and then you put some bodies out there. And it's like, I always say football, you put the crazy, deranged guys on defense, and you put the calm, collected guys on offense, and you don't have to worry about being able to play both. In basketball, you have to do that. You have to be kind of like out of your mind a little bit defensively, and then we transition to being calm and cool on offensively.
Are there some new things you're trying to add to the offense this year?
Yeah, definitely. The way we want to play is more up-tempo, and so with that being said, we're doing some things to try to push the pace and encourage up-tempo basketball. But at the same point in time, we're still really basically on the fundamentals right now. If it was the other way around, we wouldn't start practicing until the weekend closest to October 15th. So we don't want to make sure we're taking away from our guys' skill level. So we're still doing a lot of skill work and not a lot of practice at this point in time. So we dedicate about 45 minutes to this skill work. And then the rest of the hour and 15 minutes to actually team basketball.
You talked about earlier when Dale was going to be out those first few games of using Gavin and Colin and Rock, mainly at those three guys at those two spots. And I guess that pretty much for the whole season now, or any other looks at who may help out in the post?
Well, no. It's a situation where those guys are going to have to man most of the minutes. And I think in most situations you have three guys rotating for two spots, maybe at the most 4 guys rotating those 2 spots. Our problem will be if those guys either A, get injured or in foul trouble that particular game. That's when you get concerned about what's behind them. Now, if those guys stay healthy and they don't get in foul trouble, I have every confidence that those 3 guys can man those 2 spots. It's just if one injury or foul trouble.
I know it's probably too early to say, but you had mentioned that Tevin is, from a physical standpoint, Tevin is a JUCO guy and is able to handle it. Maybe physically has a lot to learn, obviously, with offense and defense. But is he a guy maybe that could fill in minutes, or it's still too early to say?
At those particular positions, no, not at the position. He's just too small.
Yeah.
He'd be able to do something for us on the wing spot, but at the 4 and the 5, I don't think he helps us in that position.
Who's a 4 guy you're talking about? Maybe a 4th guy helping out?
No, I was saying, like, if we had that, most guys have a 4th guy that plays that position. I'm saying we don't have that, really.
When you can't really prevent injuries for the most part, but how do you make sure that they kind of stay out of foul trouble?
Well, I think this way we teach, and we just had an SEC head coaches meeting yesterday, and the thing that our head of officiating talked about that they're really going to enforce is trying to clean up the game of basketball. And that's really a concern for me because we don't have the depth that we need. And so maybe for Kentucky, that's not a concern because those guys can get into foul trouble and it doesn't affect them. Well, if our guys get in foul trouble, it really affects us. So they said they're really going to do what the NBA has done. About 2 or 3 years ago when the NBA started calling all those hand-checking fouls, and it was about 50 to 60 fouls a game, and everybody complained about all the whistles. Well, what happened is the coaches changed and the players changed. And the NCAA has said that's what they're going to do. If they're going to be forced to call 50 to 60 fouls a game, they're going to do it, but they're going to clean up the game and try to make it more free-flowing. And so I have, as a coach now, some of the things that I've been teaching, at the end of the day, it's a foul. And so we got to figure out a way to make sure that we're still being tough, still being aggressive, still being physical, but without fouling.
At the same time, that should play in your advantage on motion offense because if they're not hand-checking, you have a little more freedom to move.
And it should help some of our guys that are good players. Chicken should have more freedom to go put the ball on the floor and make a deck. and make a play. IJ should be in the same situation. He can put the ball on the floor and go make a play. Raquez. So it's a disadvantage for us defensively, but offensively it should open up some driving lanes for some of our players.
Has Jacoby been able to practice yet?
No, sir, he has not.
Do you have a timetable on him? Or?
Well, when he went in, it's saying somewhere between 3 to 4 weeks, so he's in his second week at this point in time. So I know this, we don't want to push him. We want to make sure that we're able to play games with him. We obviously would love him to have him out here in this practice situation. When it's all said and done, we need him to be able to play games on November 8th.
With that said, how valuable was it for him to be able to practice late last year and kind of?
It was good, but it was to a point. I mean, he just got thrown in there, and he was mostly on the scout team.
Yeah.
He really didn't participate much as far as what we were trying to get done, and so he was on that scout team. So he ended up being more valuable for the guys that were playing games more so than anything.
Are you getting satisfied, like, with the development from the players from last year to this year so far?
We'll see. I mean, you really don't know where the development stands until you start playing games. Because mostly what you do is 3-on-0, 2-on-0, 5-on-0. And now this is the first time we'll start doing some things against live competition. And so you'll get a feel for the development at times. But when you start playing against each other, you really don't know, was the defense good or was the offense bad? And then when the offense looks good, was the offense good, was the defense bad? Because you're playing against each other. So we'll have to wait and see when we start playing games. Is Chicken reducing his turnovers? Is Fred taking better shots? Is Gavin able to seal and score in the post? That's when we'll see whether the development paid off or not.